So we have a fantastic speaker today. I'm so happy and excited to welcome her back again. We have Rathna Ramakrishnan. She is the principal of SmallBizUnboxed. She's an educator, a serial entrepreneur, a mom of 2 boys, and a Grow with Google expert with more than 7 years of experience helping businesses scale and grow by using a data-driven digital marketing strategy. She's also very passionate about helping small businesses unbox their true potential by helping them focus on the vital digital marketing tactics. So please welcome our speaker today, Rathna.
Thank you, Faustine. So we're going to talk about how to give your website a refresh so you can have Google work for your website. You know, food is on everybody's mind these days with the shelter in place and Instacart shopping and all the different options. So I wanted to open up with the question, why do you think digital marketers love to shop at Whole Foods? Because Whole Foods has a lot of organic content. That's why we all love to go shop at Whole Foods. And organic content is something that every business owner should care about, because organic is when you are found by your potential customer on search on Google. Here is a graph from Google Analytics that shows information on how customers are finding this specific site. And if you look over here, there's direct, there's organic search, there's social, there's referral, and other. Direct is when somebody knows the name of your business and they actually go into a search window and then they type in, www.roofers.com or musicschool.com, the name of your business. If somebody does not know the actual name of your business and they're trying to search for your specific product or service, somebody's looking for a lawyer, a business advisor, and they go in and they start searching, then if you want those people to land on your website, right, first the person needs to find you, come to your website, and then engage with you and become your customer. So that kind of a customer who comes to you from Google search is what is called organic search. So the higher this number can be, which is what is called as traffic, you have more traffic to your website. And what we're going to talk about today are the things that you can do to get more qualified traffic, because not all traffic is equal. Not all customers are equal. So you want the people that are landing on your website to be qualified, who are interested in your product or service. And so the focus is to go ahead and increase this number. So if you have Google Analytics tied to your website, you can go ahead and log into Google Analytics and you can quickly see where your numbers are. And if you go ahead and implement the things that I'm going to be teaching you today, as an example, let's say you have 70 people that are coming to your website, you go ahead and you implement these, you will see numbers starting to rise. It'll go from 70 to 100 to 7,000 to 70,000. So that's the power of search, but you have to set your website up to be found online. So today's focus is we're going to talk about how search works. We're going to look at the anatomy of a search results page. We'll perform a site search, and I'm going to give you 5 tips to give your website a refresh, and I'll be sure to save some time for Q&As. So before we dive in, I just wanted to share a little bit about me. I started a children's education business 7 years ago in the Bay Area. I live here in Palo Alto in California. And the business is called Brain Mind. Children come in for spring and summer camps and are entertained and enriched using Lego, robotics, and financial literacy, Money 101 programs. When I started the business 7 years ago, I was like every other business owner. I put together a website. I had all these grand ideas for curriculum. And I said, now what? How are parents that are interested in sending their children to these programs going to find my website, going to find my business? Because only if they find me, if they know that my business exists, they're going to be able to sign up for the programs. And so that is what led me down the digital marketing path, where I became obsessed and mission-driven to be sure that I could learn and understand everything that was related to digital marketing. So in the past 7 years, this summer, the programs are scheduled to be offered in 25 cities in the Bay Area. I typically hire between 70 to 75 teachers to deliver this curriculum. And again, it's not by chance that I was able to scale the business. It's through a concerted strategy of thinking about how is the business perceived online. And one of the things that happened for me through scaling this business is when I looked around and I saw so many small business owners that had, dreams similar to mine, I realized that a lot of people have websites, have some social media presence, but what digital marketing does for you is it takes and connects all the dots. When you have all the dots connected, when it's called digital plumbing, when you have all the plumbing to your website connected, then your business is going to be found online. So I became really passionate about this and became a Grow with Google partner. And I'm on a mission to help 10,000 small business owners use data-driven digital strategies so you can be found online. Digital marketing and digital strategies are new. They're forever evolving. So as a small business owner, if you really want to have the power to understand how to find your next customer, your first 1,000 customers, your first 5,000 customers, the more you understand digital marketing, the more empowered you're going to be to quickly scale your business. So through the process of growing the education business, I came up with this Unbox guide. I realized that there were these certain actions that I learned and I was doing over and over again. Because with digital marketing, you have to rinse and repeat for your website or your business to be found online. And so I've been able to distill it down into a 5-step process. The first one is, does your business really exist online? You can have the most gorgeous website in the world, but is it searchable? Can people find it? Is it tied to Google Analytics? Have you thought about the specific keywords that matter for your business? Do you write? Do you create content? Have you taken your website and submitted it to directories? Because Google is the largest search engine, but if you want a wider reach, you should take your website and submit it to other directories like Yahoo and Bing. Everybody's on social media, but do you have a data-driven strategy? Are you just waking up and today you're in the mood to post something on Facebook or Instagram? Or do you know that if you post on Wednesday afternoon, you're going to get good traction? Are you just posting and it's crickets, like nobody's interacting? Because it's easy to make people interact with your posts because you need to have a hashtag strategy, you need to have a posting strategy. So do you have a data-driven strategy? The next thing is Google My Business, which is basically digital real estate that you can get for yourself on Google. And every small business owner must create this footprint for yourself because it is a big piece in helping customers find you. I actually teach complete workshops on how to set up and execute a Google My Business plan. So it's cyclical. You just go around and you check these and you repeat these. And it's so important because we stop and we look at our products, we look at our services, we look at, what is the next best package that I can offer, and forget about digital marketing. It's so important to look at your data because it's not numbers, it's stories about your customers. And so you should be interested and hungry to know who your customers are. Where are they coming from? How are they finding you? How long are they hanging out on your website? What day of the week are they coming? All of this is free. This information exists online. So the more curious you can be about your own business, your website, your customers, where the sources of how you're finding them, and focus on that organic growth, it's going to be easier for you to scale your business. From growing a business from scratch, these are the 3 things that I know for sure. Anyone can generate clients online. However, you must customize for your own business. And business need not be difficult. Business can be easy. Before we dive into the details, I just wanted to have Faustine do a poll on what content management system or platform is your website built on. GoDaddy, Kajabi, Squarespace, Weebly. Awesome. So there's a good mix of majority on WordPress. Next is Wix and GoDaddy, other, and I do not know, which is fine. So this is the first thing as a business owner, you need to know on what platform your website is hosted. Where was it built? Did you build it yourself or did you hire somebody to build it for you? So be curious. know where your website is hosted or built. How long ago was it built? Okay, so we're going to look at how search works, right? Google search. And if you look at this Unbox guide that I just shared with you, it falls under this step 1. How is your website perceived when somebody is searching for you? So if you think about the World Wide Web, when somebody goes in and types a query, a search term, a search word, or a phrase, Google's not searching throughout the World Wide Web. What Google is searching is in what are called an indexes. So to simplify it, think of Google as a giant library with millions and millions and millions of books. Every book is a website. Within the book, there's content, there's words, there's chapters. And so Google has what is called a crawler or a Google bot, which when somebody types in a query, will go in and start searching for what the person is looking for by going to a website that's indexed. What Google then does is it organizes this information, right? There's just millions of indexes that are created that's organized. And so when somebody goes in and searches for something, Google is able to rapidly go and find the information. Google uses what are called signals or factors. And there are 200 signals or factors that Google uses right now to be able to take all the information in the World Wide Web and put it into an index. The thing that you need to remember is that unlike a library where there is a cart of, you can go ahead and add stuff, there is none. So what Google's doing is it's constantly indexing and learning, or the Google bot is constantly indexing and learning and organizing information on the World Wide Web. So when someone searches, what Google's able to do is look at those 200 signals. And these signals are basically things like geography. Where are you searching from? How long is your phrase? What are you looking for? What were your past searches? What are your interests? Because Google's able to remember all of that. And so it's able to give you relevant, pertinent, useful results. There are over 1 trillion searches that happen in the world per year. And I wanted to just, trillion is such a large number to comprehend. So I just wanted to give you an idea. This is 1 second. In this snap of a finger, Google has processed 40,000 searches. And the reason why I'm sharing this in detail with you is for you to understand that there are so many searches going on. So you have to think about your fantastic business with the cool website and how is Google going to choose you over all the other information that's sitting online. So let's look at the anatomy of a search results page. Everybody's familiar with this window. Invariably, we're going and searching for something every day. So a person comes to a Google search window and enters a search query. It immediately creates a search results page. And on the search results page, first there are titles, then there are URLs, and then it gives you a description. Some businesses will have what is called a business profile or Google My Business, which is what I mentioned to you, which is step 5 of the Unbox strategy. And so what this enables for you to do as a business owner is to claim more real estate on Google. So if you do not have a Google My Business profile, it's something that you should do, because if somebody in your 100-mile proximity or if somebody's looking for your product or service, they're going to find you if you have a business profile set up. So if you go and search for your own business and this doesn't show up, it's because you haven't set up the Google My Business profile. You may also see shopping ads, which means people are spending on ads. There may be text ads that you see. So these are the different things that show up on search. And then on the very bottom, you'll see related searches that appear below the search results. So this is the anatomy, right? There is a well of information, and there's titles and descriptions and Google My Business profiles. So the thing that I want to ask you to do is to perform a site search for your own website, which is to see how does your website look on Google. It's really simple to do that. It's like taking a selfie. You're going to take a selfie and you're like, hey, how do I look today? So you simply want to go to a search window and type the query site colon yourwebsite.com and then hit Google search. So I'm going to go through an example here, and you can try this. You're sitting in front of a computer, you can try this right now. It's important that you don't have spaces on either side of the colon. So it's site colon yourwebsite.com. When you do this, what Google will give you is a list of all the pages that you have on your website, right? Because every website has many pages. You'll have a FAQ page, a contact form, your home page, then you'll have a page for your product or your specific service. So if you look at this example here, I just grabbed an example for a local Redwood City graphics store. And you can see how it has pulled up all the different pages that this website has indexed on Google. So the first thing that you want to look at is page titles. So if you see the specific example that I grabbed, every page has the same title. These titles are little pieces of ads that Google's giving you for free, if you think about it, right? When somebody's searching for you, you can say whatever you want to sell yourself to behave like an ad. And so this business right here has the opportunity because whoever built the website just copied the pages and left the titles the same. So if you just go ahead and focus on fixing the titles of your every individual page to actually speak about what is on the page, you're going to be found in search faster. The second thing is you can actually, you know your website. Do you have 10 pages, 20 pages, 100 pages? You know, the bigger e-commerce sites that have thousands of pages, Google actually has a tool that you can use to go ahead and run this kind of a report. But if you're a small business and you know the pages that you have on your website, if you don't see one of the pages popping up here, that means that page is not indexed. So you have to go ahead and index that page. The third thing is to look at the images on your website. Here again, in this example, everything just says Redwood City Graphics, Redwood City Graphics, right? This is again free ads, free digital space where you can talk about, you know, a dark t-shirt with, you know, whatever logo, great for a birthday gift, or whatever the purpose of your product or service is. The more you describe your images, then you're going to be found on search. Because Google bot is not capable of looking at images, but the Google bot is capable of crawling and reading content. So you want to convert every image into sellable content where people are able to look at it, or the Google bot is able to look at it and know what that image is about. So that is the third insight, where you want to have clear descriptions for every image that's on your website. A couple more things that you can check is your website secure? When you go ahead and type your URL, if it says your website is not secure, Googlebot does not like your website. Googlebot will not crawl your website because your website does not have a secure connection. Because Google is not trying to be friends with anybody. Google's main goal is to deliver high quality content when somebody searches for information. And so an important thing that you need to think about is the security of your website. The next thing that you need to do is to see if your site is cell phone compatible. Think about it, you know, we rarely have the time to sit down in front of our computers. We do so much on our phones. So you want to check if your website is cell phone compatible. And in order to do that, what you can do is you can simply right click on a screen and click on inspect. When you click on inspect, this example that I was using, the Redwood City Graphics Store, this is how their website looks in the mobile view. So on your computer, you right click on the screen and click on inspect. And if you look on the top right side, the code of the page will pop up. And on the very top here, you will see the cell phone icon. If you click on the cell phone icon, it's going to show you the website version of how your website looks on somebody's cell phone. And I think every business owner should be checking this all the time. And in fact, there is a way for you to go ahead and check your website, not just for a generic cell phone. There's a way for you to check how does it look on an iPad, on an iPhone, on a Samsung Galaxy, or, you know, all the millions of phones that exist out there. There's actually a tool where you can go ahead and check it, because having cell phone compatibility, having your website be clean and be viewable. Like, how is somebody supposed to shop for t-shirts on this website if this is how the mobile page is showing up, the cell phone page is showing up? So it's really easy. Click on your page, right click on inspect, go click on the little cell phone icon. Immediately it'll convert your page into a cell phone view. So anytime you know, as business owners, we're always coming up with ideas, and we're adding pages and we're subtracting pages and, you know, moving things around. So anytime you do this, it's a good habit to go ahead and check, how does the page look on mobile? Because the Google bot does not have information to crawl rapidly if this is how the website looks on a cell phone. So I want to share with you an example of one of our customers who came to us. He's a concrete contractor. He was just so busy to scale up. He had somebody build him a one-page website, and, you know, he was getting jobs, but, you know, they're $10,000 to $12,000 backyard jobs and, you know, concrete jobs. But he was getting frustrated. He's like, I'm so ready to scale up. I'm ready to, you know, my team needs more work. And when he came to us, you know, this is what we did. We went ahead and fixed a lot of his website issues, made sure that his digital presence was fantastic. And he doubled his business right away, because that's the power of search. That's the power of Google. That's the power of organic traffic. So if you think about it, this is free. It doesn't cost you any money to go ahead and, you know, make sure that your website is sound. It's easily found on search. It's cell phone compatible and so forth. So I'm going to walk you through the tips to give your website a refresh. The first thing, like I said, was you want to go ahead and update the page titles and descriptions, right? And as small business owners, you know, you don't have the time to do a lot of this, but perhaps with this shelter in place, you can go ahead and quickly run a search for yourself and look at your page titles and update it. With the page titles, you want it to sound like search. How do you search for things? How would somebody search? How would your customers search for your product or service? You want it to be conversational. You don't want it to sound very stiff and formal, right? So just write like you're speaking. And if you write like you're speaking, that's the way people search. If you write like you're speaking, then you're going to be found on search. You also want to focus on what are keywords. So it's pretty simple to run a keyword analysis for your business and hold on to a keyword analysis. And then it becomes like a dictionary of words that you can use that are relevant to your business that Google likes. And you can take those words and you can use them, you know, in proper grammatical form in your web page titles and meta descriptions. So the title is really important in how you're naming the page, right? This example.com/policies/FAQs. And what shows up? Does it say FAQs, Redwood City Graphics? You know, you want to have a clean pattern. You want to have the description to be clean. And you as the business owner are driving what shows up over here. You'll be amazed. If you go and run a search for yourself, you will see that you probably have like 4 words over there, which is such a waste of digital real estate, because you've just lost the opportunity for Google to show you on search because you just don't have the right descriptions and words for people to find you. On the flip side, you also don't want to have such lengthy descriptions that the Google bot cannot decide whether the search term is relevant to what you have. And so you want to think about simple, clean, 2 sentences, 160 words, 160 characters that it fits like that. It fits clean in a search, right? This is called a meta description. You have the power to control that meta description. So here's the example of this specific Redwood City graphics that I was looking at. They have products and example.com/page.jsp, right? So you can actually determine what you want to call this. And it says Redwood City Graphics has provided California with high quality, low cost screen printing and embroidered, you don't know, right? And I rewrote that. Custom youth baseball tees, seasonal offers, example.com/seasonal offers. Great spring deals on custom youth baseball tees and jerseys. Shop kids graphic tees from top sports brands. Are you able to visualize the difference between these two examples? You know, your meta description, your description for every page needs to read like a conversation that you're having with your customer and is a quick ad. Immediately, if I'm a mom and I'm shopping for tees for my kids, I know, hey, I want to go to Redwood City Graphics. They're going to be able to help me. If I'm the manager for my kids' baseball team, I know that they can help me. This description basically serves the business. And that's how most of the descriptions tend to be. You know what you do. Your customers know what you do. So speak in your customer's language. And I guarantee you, if you go ahead and make a concerted plan and you change the meta description and look at your titles for every page, your traffic will soar, right? If you have Google Analytics, you go check it today, you go fix these things. And this is what I'm basically teaching you is what is SEO, search engine optimization. This is on-site SEO. And every business owner says, hey, I'm not tech savvy, you know, I don't know HTML coding, I really don't want to deal with my, you know, the website. But you have to, because this is not, it's not coding, it's not, you know, hard engineering. It's basically talking to your customer. And that's what you are the star at. So your web developer can put together that pretty website for you, but what needs to go on every page, you probably work with your web developer and put together the pages and the photos and all of that. So that is the facade of your website when somebody lands on your page, which is great. But now Google doesn't care about what's on your page. Google only cares about these titles and meta descriptions. So if you go ahead and spend time and, you know, refine these, rewrite it, it's going to really help you be found online. Pages that are not indexed, you want to go ahead and see which of your pages that are not indexed. So you could put together a special service or a special program, but hello, it's not even showing up on Google search. And if you're relying on traffic to come to your website or customer, you know, for that product or service to convert to dollars in revenue, and you're wondering why is the magic not happening, it's because Google does not even know that that page exists. So you want to do a quick audit of your pages and be sure that every page is indexed. And there is a way to index pages, you know, let Google know that your page exists, because like I mentioned, you know, it's a library, it's this giant library of books, and within the books, you know, you have to tell Google what you have, because Google doesn't know what you have. The moment you share and you index your website with the appropriate information, Google's going to start showing you and sharing you to whoever's looking for your product or service. The other thing is a sitemap. It's very easy to generate a sitemap. You can just go and Google, you know, a sitemap generator, and you can get what is called an XML file. And if you are tied to any of the larger, you know, Wix or with WordPress, it doesn't happen automatically. You need a plugin and you need to submit it. So Google needs to know, Google needs an index. Like, you know how every book has an index, like a chapter of, you know, what are the chapters, what are the topics? Google just needs to know that. And if you make the time to go ahead and submit this XML file, then all your efforts of updating your title and your meta descriptions is going to pay off, because now Google not only has your book, Google also has the index page, and the Google bot can quickly go ahead and look at your index and say, okay, they got graphic tees, they are lawyers, they are roofers, right? And so you would have submitted, it's basically a list of all the pages that exist on your website that is converted into what is called an XML file, and you can take it and you can submit it. So very simple to do. And like I said, you want to update the image names and descriptions. Most websites, all the images will have the same description, because you're just too busy, you know, so excited building the website, just finding the beautiful images that you forget about the description. And many times this is what you'll see. You'll see image1.jpg, dscn5.png, 53.jpg. And so if you just go ahead and rename these, again, conversational, what are you selling? What are you showing off to your customer, right? Go ahead and rename that. Then again, you're giving Googlebot that valuable content, the valuable text that the Googlebot is going to be able to search, index, and showcase, and therefore show off your cool business when somebody comes searching for your product or service. And you want to keep images updated because Google loves fresh content, right? So if you have had an image for a while and you've changed your programs, you've changed your services, and you have new images, upload your image, change your description, and that is going to help you be found on search. So there's a lot of free tactics that you can do on your website on a routine basis. So if you've just, you built your website 2 years ago and you've not looked at it, that website's not doing anything for you. And it's important that you keep content fresh, you have it indexed, you have it submitted, and Google knows that your business exists and you exist online. The fourth thing is to make sure that your website is secure, and it'll either say not secure. If your website is secure, it'll say HTTPS. And again, if you're using any of the Wix, Weebly, GoDaddy, all of those, automatically they provide security. With WordPress sites, you need a plugin, but Google will not engage with sites that are not secure. So your website will not be found on search if your site is not secure. And it'll basically show security issues. I'm sure you must have seen these signs that pop up: dangerous, not secure. Do you really want to click on it? Do you want your website to be perceived like that just because it doesn't have the HTTPS, which is such a simple thing to fix? But this is the most common thing that business owners ignore because you're too busy building your beautiful website that you're not thinking about how Google is perceiving your website. So if your website's not secure, forget about it. No matter what meta descriptions you write, titles you write, Google's not going to show you first on search. So it basically, protects websites. When somebody sees it, they know the site is secure. Especially if you're trying to have financial transactions where you're expecting your customers to give you money and, PayPal or Stripe or whatever transaction, if the site is not secure, then one, they're not finding you. Two, people are going to be less inclined to shop not because people know that, the site is not secure, because Google will start prompting them and telling them, are you sure you want to engage in a financial transaction here? Because this is not a secure site. So in the off chance somebody lands on your unsecure website, Google's actually not going to help you because, like I said, Google only cares about high quality content and high quality search. So it's always going to look out for the customer to give them high quality websites. So it's really important that your website be secure. And like I pointed out to you, your website should be compatible on all devices. And if it is not, go ahead and do it right away because everybody is on their phones and searching. So it's really simple to go ahead and fix that. So here's the same site. See how it looks when the content is organized. And when you click on the t-shirt, it's intuitive because you're like, oh, I like this t-shirt. Now let me look at it. And quickly it loads and you can see what the price on it is and so forth. So it's really important. Like if you look at your website and it looks like this, then right there, you're not going to convert your traffic or the people that are coming onto your website, because put yourself in your customer's shoes. How many times do you land on a website that looks like this and you're not interested in scrolling around and pushing around? And it's a simple fix on the back end for no matter what platform your website is built on. You can rapidly go ahead and make it a mobile-friendly website. So, this is what I want you to ask yourself. The traditional attitude of business owners is that, oh, I'm starting a business, I need a website, it's a business expense. It's $1,000, it's $2,000, I need to build a website, I need pictures, I need a developer, or perhaps you're savvy, you can put together a Wix or a Squarespace website rapidly and you built it yourself, but you're still, it's a drag. You're like, oh my God, I have to build my website. And you're looking at it as an expense. you have to switch your mindset. The modern mindset is to look at it as a growth investment. Because, like I have been repeating, it is a footprint of your cool product and service on Google. And so it's a growth investment. The more you have your website aligned, the more fresh content you have in there. It is not an expense, it is going to help you grow and scale your business. It's an investment. Many people look at it as a digital brochure. They're like, oh, just go to my website. It's like a PDF where you can just email a PDF. Why bother having a website if you're just treating it like a digital brochure of all the services and things that you do? Instead, look at your website itself as a product, right? It's a product that has so much power, it has so much reach, and Google wants to be friends with it. Google wants to work for your website. And so think of it along those lines where it is a product, it's going to help you grow. It can have a wide impact on your customers, on your bottom line, on your revenues. And just don't think of it as this pretty facade that you created and then forget about it. The third thing is, you don't need to assume. You don't have to assume and say, oh, perhaps they found me online. Perhaps that's how my customer came in. And you don't have to have these series of questions on, let's say you use registrations forms and you're like, how did you hear about us? How did you find out about us? You don't even need to bother to ask your customers those questions and, task them with answering one more question. You'll be able to make data-driven decisions. If you have a sound website that's connected to Google Analytics, you can just go into Google Analytics and look at what is your acquisition, what is the behavior of your customers, what are the social channels that are working for you. If you're spending all your time on Facebook, is it worth it? Perhaps, you'll see that suddenly, oh, there's a lot of traffic from Pinterest. So somebody mentioned they have a music school. So music schools tend to cater to a lot of parents, and moms tend to be on Pinterest looking for the next baking idea, the birthday party idea. So perhaps, you'd be better off just spending your time on Pinterest and not spending any time on Facebook. And how do you know this? Even if you don't have a profile on Pinterest, you will still see traffic that's coming in if somebody's finding you clicking on something else and coming to your website. So there's so much information that already sits within your Google Analytics, which is free. And so, I can probably teach another workshop on how to make sure that your website is connected to Google Analytics and what are the components that you need to look in there. But the point I'm trying to make is that you don't have to assume if the $2,000 or whatever you spent on your website is working for you or not. You will have clear data and you can make decisions. You can see when your customers are coming onto your website. If you're sending newsletters to your customers and you see that your website has a lot of traffic in the evenings, because perhaps parents only have the time to shop for children's lessons in the evenings, guess what? Start sending your newsletter in the evenings. Your click rate will go up. More people will open it. So there's a lot of informed decisions that you can make for your own business if you treat your website like an investment, like a product. And truly, I hope I've relayed the message of how wide an impact it can have for your website, because it is the basic foundation of search. It is what Google is indexing. Your website is that book in that giant library, and how well your book looks, how well it's indexed, and how much time you've put into it, and how beautifully it presents is directly going to translate into more revenue, more customers for you. So built a website, forgot about it. Now's the time. Go give it a refresh, right? Simple things. Look for cell phone compatibility, the 5 things that I just talked to you about. So now, if you look at the Unbox guide, we did what is called on-site SEO. Then you can move along, and there are other SEO tactics that you can use for ranking higher and higher on search. So when I set up my education business and built a page and searched for my business, I was on page 20. And I said, how is this even going to monetize? Like, how is this going to work? And that's what led me down this path of putting together this Unbox guide to grow with Google, because remember, a lot of the Google tools are free. And so one, it's a matter of educating yourself and making sure that you're putting Google to work for you, because it's the largest search engine. So then you can go down the path of these 5 steps and keep repeating it. And I assure you, even if you engage in step 1 and you have, like I said, 50 customers, you will immediately see 200 people coming to your website. it's trackable, it's tangible, it's work that will really convert into conversations, your phone will start ringing. If you have your phone number there and you want people to reach out to you, your phone will start ringing once you engage in these tactics of writing clean titles and meta descriptions. So I wanted to recap. You want to update page titles and descriptions. You want to use an XML sitemap. You want to update image file names and descriptions. You want to provide users with a secure connection to your website. And you want to make sure that your website is cell phone friendly. If you would like an easy to use website checklist, I would be pleased to send it to you. You can just send an email to hello@smallbizunboxed.com with just the subject Better Business Bureau or BBB. So we'll just take 30 seconds here. And I would love to share this checklist that I have, which has more things that you can go and easily do for your website. So hello@smallbizunboxed.com. So thank you if you made the time to share your email or ask for the checklist. I'd be happy to send you the checklist so you can literally take it and you can do it yourself, or you can just give it to your web developer, and you know how to do the checks and balances. You know how to check now whether your website is cell phone compatible or not. You know how to just go to site yourwebsite.com and see how your pages are indexing. So you can quickly go through the checklist and check for yourself. And this is what I love teaching business owners, is to be hungry for knowledge about your own website, about your own business, because that is what is going to help you scale your business. So what's next? If you signed up for the checklist, I can give you the checklist. While you have this time, pick one thing, right? So it feels like a lot. What is an XML code that I have to take and submit? Just pick one thing. Go research your pages. So, make a commitment to yourself that for having come and spent this, 45 minutes, 1 hour today, what are you going to do? And if you're committed to growing your business, ready to invest in a clear marketing strategy, you really don't need to spend on ads on Google. It's really simple for you to use all the free tools intelligently, connect them properly, and have Google work for you. And so one of the things I'm offering today is a free growth plan call. So you can simply go to growthplancall.com and schedule some time with me. It's my most favorite thing to do. I'm not interested in selling you anything. I'm on a mission here to teach and help and educate people. So if you'd like to schedule some time with me, go for it. And if you're like every other business owner where you're saying, okay, I'm going to write down this growthplancall.com and then perhaps I'll just, do it later. I want to give you a little incentive. Schedule in the next 15 minutes. I'll do a complimentary rapid audit of your online presence and send you a little video with instructions. So you can take that and forward it over to your developer, or add it to your to-do list. So I want to invite you to go ahead and schedule that time with me, because you have to think about your website. You have to think about your digital presence, because it will directly convert into dollars and revenue for you. So growthplancall.com. This is one of my favorite quotes. After I became a business owner, I think of these lines from The Tale of Two Cities so often. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was a season of light. It was a season of darkness. It was a spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. And I think many of us are feeling this, as though we have nothing before us. And as a business owner, you have those seasons of light and darkness. You sign on 3 customers and you're so excited that you feel pleased, and then you work hard, and then you have 10 deals that don't go through, and then you feel low about yourself. And so this cycle of darkness and light and joy and sadness is just inevitable, because it's not for the faint of heart. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. And so if you're already going through all of these cycles, then at least put your business's data to work for you, because what your data will do for you is give you more seasons of light. It will give you more returns on your on the hard work that you're doing. So that's why I wanted to share with you one of my favorite quotes. If you like, you can go ahead and look at the Facebook group where I do all kinds of audits with people that are interested. You can follow me on Instagram. You can shoot me an email, and I am ready to take any questions that you have for me. So thank you for spending this hour. I hope you found it useful. And even if you do one thing from the 5 tips that I gave you, you're going to benefit from it for sure. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Rathna. I will go ahead and send out that URL growthplancall.com immediately after this. I know it's hard to navigate to another website if you're on Zoom sometimes for some of us who are just working on screens. I will go ahead and send that. Also, I have Martha who shared her email address. So if you would like Rathna's checklist, if you have trouble emailing her because of the screen, you can put it in the chat option, and I can also share your email address with Rathna as well, so so you can get that. Looks like we have, if you do have questions, please type them in the Q&A or the chat option. We can answer those. Rachel asks, what do you recommend to use for a keyword analysis? Does Google have one?
So to do a free keyword analysis, what you can do is you need an ad account. And so if you go ahead and setting up a Google Ads account is free. Once you have an ad account, when you go in there, there's a keyword planner. The keyword planner that sits within the Google ad account is not the most robust tool because it's a free tool, and it also relies on the fact that you are running ads. So if you have spent any dollars on Google Ads and then you go ahead and you look at your keyword planner, it'll give you more relevant information. So that is a free tool that exists. There are several other sites like SEM Rush, Uber Suggest. All of these are free. You can probably just do limited number of searches. If you want to just do one search and make a list for yourself, you can. But if you want to routinely do searches, all the keyword analysis tools are not free. They cost a minimum amount of money, like $6 a month subscription or so forth. So if you were just starting out and trying to build a website, it's probably a good investment. Or you can outsource to a digital agency that can help you put together a keyword list of, do you want 30 keywords, 100 keywords, 1,000 keywords? There are long tail phrases and short term phrases, and because of the way people think and speak and search. So the free one that you can rapidly go ahead and utilize is within your Google Ads account. So if you just go to ads.google.com and then log in using your Gmail account and then connect your website to it, immediately you have an ad account. And I think Google might make you input your credit card information to make it a valid ad account, and they will not charge you. It's only to be sure that you're a real human. They don't want bots creating ad accounts. So it's going to ask you for your credit card information, and I can guarantee you that there won't be any charges unless you actually create an entire ad campaign and launch the campaign and then authorize Google to charge your credit card. So it's in my opinion, it's completely safe to create that ad account to use the free keyword planner tool.
Great, thank you. We have a company that says, I'm a service industry, and so many of my services don't change on my website. What do you suggest as fresh content that I can put on my website? Would you suggest different customer reviews?
Sure, customer reviews are great. You can connect your website to, what kind of a service are there specific tools that you're using? Then you can connect your website to those tools. You can, just write 500 words. What do you do when you serve somebody, right? That's all a blog is about. Because people get bogged down with writing, saying that, oh, I'm not a good writer, I don't punctuate well, my grammar is not good. No, just feed Google relevant, pertinent information about yourself in a conversational manner. What would you talk? Don't you talk to your customers? Don't you love talking to your customers? That's what your blog is. Just look at your blog like that. So if you feel like your page is static, you can connect it to reviews. You can update your product descriptions, right? Even changing up words. And you don't want to go down the path of like keyword stuffing and, trying to con Google, because Google knows, Google bot is very smart, and it's going to ding you for it. So is there something that's changed about your product or service? Was your picture uploaded 5 years ago? Then go ahead and find a new picture and upload it. So I think the website is the least attended to in a small business owner's life, because you're so busy, but it is so powerful. So even every year, if you go ahead and do a refresh of the pages, look at your meta descriptions and so forth, you don't even need to change content. Go ahead and, perhaps your business is evolved, go ahead and change your meta description and tell Google a little bit more or a little bit differently about what you do, right? Those things are beneficial. Having a basic blog is beneficial for any website, because now that you understand how search works, it's important that you have on those pages that Google is searching, your website is a book, then how many lines you have in there, right? So the more you're able to tell your story and share pictures, it's going to benefit you. So yes, go ahead and do a refresh, every year, every 6 months, go ahead and look at your website and quickly say, what are the things that have changed? What are the things that I can edit? And um, work on it. That's all. It's you don't need to spend hours and hours, but just that new fresh content will pay off in terms of landing higher on search.
Great, thank you. I don't see any other questions. So thank you, Rathna, for taking time out of your busy day to present us with this wonderful information. Hopefully all these business owners listening online will start refreshing their websites immediately, right, within the next 6 months or so. But thank you so much, everyone, for attending. This webinar was recorded, so it will be posted 1 and 2 business days on events.bbcommunity.org. Please have a great weekend and stay safe.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.